Nobody was coming. So I changed everything. I used to think my life would change when someone else stepped in. A better friend. A better opportunity. A better moment. But one night, I realized something that hurt more than anything I had ever felt before. Nobody was coming. I remember how it used to feel waking up every day. Not excited. Not motivated. Just existing. I'd grab my phone first thing in the morning, scrolling through other people's lives. People who seemed happier, more successful, more together than me. And I'd lie to myself. Next month will be different. Next year will be my time. Things will eventually fall into place. But they didn't. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. And nothing changed. I still felt invisible in rooms full of people. Still felt behind in a race I didn't even know I was running. Still felt like my life was happening to me, not because of me. The worst part, I started believing that maybe this was just who I was. No rescue, no miracle, no sudden shift in my life. Just me, stuck in the same place, watching time pass me by. And that was the moment everything started to change. I remember how it used to feel, waking up every day. Not excited, not motivated, just existing. I'd grab my phone first thing in the morning, scrolling through other people's lives. People who seemed happier, more successful, more together than me. And I'd lie to myself. Next month will be different. Next year will be my time. Things will eventually fall into place. But they didn't. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. And nothing changed. I still felt invisible in rooms full of people. Still felt behind in a race I didn't even know I was running. Still felt like my life was happening to me, not because of me. The worst part, I started believing that maybe this was just who I was. It wasn't one big moment. It was a build-up of small ones. Seeing old friends move forward while I stayed stuck. Watching opportunities pass because I was not ready yet. Smiling in public while feeling empty in private. But one night, I sat alone in my room. No music, no distractions, just silence. And I remember staring at myself in the reflection of a dark screen. And I asked a question I had avoided for years. If nothing changes, where will I be in 5 years? The answer scared me. Exactly where I was. Maybe worse. And for the first time, I didn't feel sad. I felt angry. Not at people. Not at life. At myself. For waiting. That night, something clicked. I realized I had been living like my life had to be approved before it could begin. Waiting for confidence. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for the perfect timing. But nothing was ever going to arrive. So I made a decision that felt small, but changed everything. I decided to start messy. Not perfect. Not ready. Not confident. Just start. The next morning, I didn't become a different person. I still felt tired, still felt unsure, but I did one small thing differently. I cleaned my space. It sounds simple, too simple, But it was the first time. I proved to myself that I could act even when I didn't feel like it. The next day, I did something else. I wrote down what I wanted my life to look like. Not a fantasy. Not a dream. Just direction. And slowly, those small actions started stacking. Changing your life sounds powerful in theory. In reality, it feels uncomfortable because the old version of you fights back. The part of me that wanted to scroll instead of work. The part that said, "You'll start tomorrow." The part that preferred comfort over growth. There were days I slipped back. Days I did nothing. Days I doubted everything. Days I thought, this won't work for me. But something was different now. I didn't stop completely. Even on bad days, I did something small. 5 minutes of effort instead of 0. 1 page instead of giving up. 1 step instead of standing still. And I started noticing something powerful. Progress doesn't feel like success at first. It feels like resistance. Slowly, things started to shift. Not overnight, not dramatically, but quietly. My mindset changed before my life did. I stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and started asking, "What can I do next?" I stopped waiting for motivation and started building discipline. I stopped needing to feel ready and started acting anyway. And the strange thing, the more I moved, the more life responded. Opportunities didn't magically appear, but I became someone who could notice them, someone who could take them, someone who could handle them. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel stuck. I felt in motion. If you're waiting for a sign, this is it. Not because everything will suddenly get easy, but because nothing changes until you do. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need perfect timing. You don't even need confidence yet. You just need to start small and stay consistent, because one day you'll look back at the version of you who was waiting and realize that the moment everything changed was when you finally decided to begin.